Previously on The Actor. Mild-mannered understudy Joe Green foiled society murderess Claire Chelsea in her attempt to frame ingenue Halle Grace, and found a role in famous Shakespearean Peter Flynn's acting company. Can this Broadway baby juggle his love of the stage and his love of justice as he becomes The Actor?
Oh, here he is. Lay hand upon him, sir. Your most dear daughter.
No rescue? What, a prisoner? I am even the natural fool of fortune. Use me well. You shall have ransom. Let me have surgeons. I am cut to the brains.
You shall have everything.
No seconds? All myself? Why, this would make a man of salt, to use his eyes for golden water pots. Aye, and laying autumn's dust, I will die bravely, like a smug bridegroom. What? I will be jovial? Come, come. I am a king. Masters, know you that?
You are a royal one, and we obey you.
Then there's life in it. Come, and you get it. You shall get it by running. Saw, saw, saw. Nicely done, my boy. Nicely done.
Ooh, thank you, Mr. Flynn.
First does make a man parched. Back in a jiff.
But aren't we back in the next scene?
Don't worry, Joe. We can ad-lib until he gets there.
An iambic pentameter?
Sure. Working for Peter Flynn is a real education.
Come, father, I'll bestow you with a friend.
Oh, there's my cue. You were great, Joe. Congratulations on your Broadway debut. Oh, good Kent. How shall I live and work?
I didn't even get the chance to ask her to help me celebrate.
Don't worry, kid. She dies in the scene after next. You'll have plenty of time to ask her then.
That's true.
Good job keeping Peter Flynn on track out there. He actually said all the right words in all the right places. You'd think it would be easy for a drunk to play mad, but it's hell on the cues.
Speaking of which, does Mr. Flynn always play Lear so immaculately groomed?
My dear boy, madness is no excuse for slovenliness. My audience demands a certain something from me. It would never do for me to appear askew. Ha! Hark! Is that our cue, my good man?
Whenever you're ready, they're ready.
What? Oh, my boy.
And so, my good lord and gentlemen, we must prepare for my father, the king, to arrive. And we must do every... Oh, thank the gods. Is he arrayed?
Aye, madam. In the heaviness of sleep, we put fresh garments on him.
And curtain down, go.
Hey, great job.
Good job, everyone.
All right, gang, move it along. Get out of costume, go over to the bar. We'll wait for reviews there. Don't forget, we got a matinee tomorrow, so save your voices. Most of the audience saw the world premiere, so their hearing ain't what it used to be.
Oh, Holly, you were wonderful. Your Cordelia is brave and proud and beautiful, just like she should be.
Thank you, Joe. That means a lot. You've always stood by me. I'm so proud of you, too. You made your Broadway debut. You're not an understudy anymore.
I have to say, I feel pretty good about today. In fact, the only thing that would make it even better would be celebrating with you, Holly.
Well, of course I'll celebrate with you. We're both going to Sardi's to wait for the reviews, aren't we?
That's not quite what I meant.
Oh my, I've got to dash. If I don't get out of this gown lickety-split, my dresser will have my head. Don't wait for me, Joe. I'll just meet you there. Save me a glass of champagne, all right?
Sure, Holly. I'll see you there.
Well, well, well. Congratulations, Joe Green, actor. I admit I've waited this day to come. I promised you I would be on hand to review your first real role, and now here I am. Just in time to witness that touching scene, too. And it isn't even my birthday.
What do you want, critic? Are you just here to gloat?
Oh no, I'm stopping by on my way to the newsroom. Peter likes it when we critics, kiss the ring.
Even though you hated his Hamlet and found his Scottish play bloodless?
But that was before the charms of ingenue Holly Grace caught my eye. She brings a certain freshness and youth to the proceedings, doesn't she?
Why you?
Have a lovely evening, Mr. Green. And do look for my review. I think you'll find it quite memorable.
This certainly isn't the Broadway debut I dreamed of.
It never is, kid.
Oh God. When did everyone start sneaking around this place?
Kid, do you really think this is where I thought I would wind up? The theater is a strange mistress with ideas of her own. If you got the bug, you go along for the ride. Buck up. That Holly's a sweet girl. She's just wrapped up in Cordelia right now. And hey, she even got to die where and when she was supposed to tonight. We both know how rare that can be in a Peter Flynn production.
Yeah, that's true.
And we all know we wouldn't have gotten there without you pushing and dragging Peter Flynn through all 5 acts. You got a gift, kid. It may not be the one you wanted, but it's a damn handy one to have.
Then what's that? I'm a sucker for a lost cause?
Sure, if you want to call it that. I prefer to think of it as knowing what's right and not giving up until you get there. Come on. I know where Flynn hides the good stuff on stage level. I'll treat you to a snort before we go to the party.
No thanks. I don't feel like going. Besides, isn't that stealing from Mr. Flynn?
Kid, you only make your Broadway debut once. Don't let anyone spoil it for you. And as for the booze, it's a line item in every budget. So just think of it as a company expense.
In that case, I guess I'll drink to that.
Cheers, kid.
Ladies and gentlemen, lords and ladies, have your attention, please. Our stalwart guardian of the gates, Reilly, has just returned from the newsstand. The reviews are in.
Well, okay.
When I was just a wee lad, making my debut in the smash hit Choo Chin Jar.
Bless you.
Thank you. The great Oscar Ashe had a tradition that the news company member read the first review. So please give a warm welcome to our very own Joe. Joe.
Green.
Green! Really? Your name is Joe Green? Sounds a lot better in Italian.
Yeah, Joe!
Gee, thanks everyone. It's been one heck of a night.
Just read the review, kid. Save the speech for your Academy Award.
Right. Peter Flynn's King Lear, Madness Made Fashionable by Bert Boudreaux, theater critic. While Peter Flynn's King Lear provides no new insight into the text, his modern dress version is a welcome change from the musty costume dramas of recent seasons. Mr. Flynn's commanding presence continues to bring interesting life to one of Shakespeare's most complex characters, seeming to drive the audience to the brink of madness as well. Although that heart-pounding anxiety may have just been for those of us in the know, wondering whether Mr. Flynn would manage to get out all the words of one of Shakespeare's most memorable characters. The real revelation of this Lear, however, is ingenue Holly Grace and her incandescent portrayal of good daughter Cordelia. She plays the long-suffering sister as brave, proud, and undeniably beautiful. Miss Grace is a star on the rise. One other notable performance is that of Joe Green as an unnamed gentleman Mr. Green's performance is memorable, but for all the wrong reasons. This is awkward, ungainly, frankly unattractive. Mr. Green sticks out like a sore thumb. The educated theatergoer wonders which of Mr. Green's talents landed him a role in Mr. Flynn's company. It certainly wasn't acting.
Well, my boy, just remember it's always better to be noticed than not. Not the best first clipping from other scrapbook, but all the same. Who's up for another round? On me?
Okay.
Sounds good. Yeah.
Oh, Joe, don't listen to Bert Boudreaux. He's only one critic. Surely some of the others have wonderful things to say about you. Nothing in the Times or the Herald Tribune. Here's the Daily News. No, nothing. Not even in the Brooklyn Jewish News? I'm sorry, Joe.
Thanks for looking, Holly. Maybe he's right about me. He's sure right about you.
Joe Green, don't you dare believe that. I don't know what Bert Boudreaux has against you, but you have more talent in your pinky than he does in all 10 of his nasty typing fingers. And don't you ever let me hear you say different.
Oh, Holly, what was that for?
Maybe I just felt like kissing the most talented gentleman on Broadway. Good night, Joe.
Good night, Holly. Wait, do you need me to see you home?
No, Joe, I'm all right. Willie will put me in a cab. I'll see you tomorrow.
You bet, Holly.
How do I get Bert Boudreaux to write me a bad review?
I guess I can't really complain, can I?
Complain? Hell, you should send him flowers to thank him.
I might just do that.
Come on, kid. We need to get out of here before Peter Flynn does.
Why?
'Cause the last one gets stuck with a bill.
What's going on here? Who are all these women?
Beats me, kid. I just got here myself. Kanish?
What? No, thanks. How are we supposed to get in?
Well, they ain't union, kid. Just a bunch of society dames with their backs up about something. Just walk through them. They'll move.
All right, but you go first. Excuse me, ma'am. Pardon me. Good afternoon. Ow! Hey, what was that? Ow!
Ooh, better move faster, kid. These dames ain't playing fair.
Ow! 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 Did you read any of those signs?
Nah, they were coming at me too fast. Didn't want to risk spilling my coffee. I'm going inside. See if Peter Flynn's here yet. You see if you can figure out what's going on here. Morning, Willie.
Hey, kid. Who are all these women?
Decent American mothers from Rosie. Can't you read?
It's a little hard to read the signs when they're being aimed at your head.
Yeah, I saw that. Some of these broads got good arms. Sort of shame dames can't play ball.
What did we do to make them mad?
Hey, Matt, information's not free. A guy's gotta make a living.
Here.
A one spot, buddy, I don't spill for less than Lincoln.
I could just ask one of them.
Yeah, why don't you? They seem to really like you.
Fine. Now spill.
Seems something about your play upsets them. They don't like all the crazy stuff.
Why are they picketing the stage door?
They're just here if the house opens. They'll move around front then. Hey, when's that hot Grace showing up? She's a real looker.
Well, how old are you anyhow?
What's it to you? Old enough to go know what's going on?
Shouldn't you be in school?
School's for sissies. Streets were all the action. That was your fat box way. See you later, alligator.
Hey, kid. Darn. You shouldn't be out here alone. Mr. Flynn, what are you doing out here?
Yeah, boy. Do you think I don't know what these ladies are really up to?
Honestly, sir.
And you've been a star for as long as I have, my boy. The ladies will do anything to catch a glimpse. Don't worry, my boy. A few well-chosen words, a well-placed kiss or two, and they'll be back luncheons and shopping. I have to deal with this sort of thing since my debut in Chu Chin Chow.
Bless you.
Thank you. Ladies, dear ladies, if I may have a moment of your time, I am ever so humbled that you so desire my presence in your little lives.
Damnable man!
Mr. Flynn! Mr. Flynn, are you all right?
You saved my life, my boy. If you hadn't thrown yourself on top of me, I would be dead. I need a drink. Oh no, poor Willie, our brave Cerberus, felled at last.
You don't mean...
Yes, the bullets meant for me found him.
Hey, Miss Grace, what are you doing with that gun?
Holly?
Oh, Joe!
Oh, not again. Excuse me, ma'am. I'm here to see Holly Grace.
Oh, yeah. Father, That sounds about right. Still undercover, I see.
Still combating sin any way I can, my dear lady. Perhaps you'd like me to hear your confession later.
I don't think so, Father. You'd need confession by the time I was done.
Oh, my.
5 minutes, Padre. You know the drill.
Yes, ladies. Hello. Good to see you, Bertha. New hairstyle, at least?
Doesn't take you long to get comfortable.
A shepherd must know how to tend to his flock.
Careful, shepherd. You'll need penicillin after tending to these ewes. Here she is. 5 minutes.
Holly, I had to come and see that you were all right.
Oh, Joe, I didn't do it. You have to believe me. I didn't kill him.
I know, Holly, I know.
Why does this keep happening to me? Why?
Well, Holly, it would probably help if you stopped picking up the evidence.
But Joe, that's just it. I didn't pick up that gun. Someone thrust it into my hands as they ran away.
You didn't see who it was?
Joe, it was all so crazy. First those loud women with their big signs and their good aim, and then the gunshots and the screaming and the shoving. I didn't even know what I had until the crowd was gone.
Holly, you've got to think harder. Can you remember anything else? Any detail that caught your eye?
Wait a minute, Joe. Just after the gunshots, I heard someone say, "Damnable man," and I caught a whiff of a very expensive-smelling perfume. But I'm sorry, that's all I can remember.
No, Holly, that's a good start. All we need to do is find a woman who sounds and smells like your description, figure out why she would want to kill Peter Flynn, and what her connection to the decent American mothers for normalcy is, discount any manufactured alibi, trace the gun back to her, convince the police we're all right, and we'll have our murderer.
Is that all? Oh, Joe. Do you know how many millions of women there are in New York?
Doesn't matter how many millions of women there are out there. You're one in a million to me, Holly Grace, and I won't rest until I set you free.
Oh, Joe. What can I ever do to thank you?
I never did take you out for that steak dinner.
It'll be my first meal as a free woman.
May I help you?
The question, Mrs. Sincere, is how can we help each other?
I'm afraid I don't understand.
Mrs. Sincere, I don't know why you want to destroy Peter Flynn, and I don't care. I'm just as interested in seeing him and his company ruined as you are.
Oh, I doubt that very much. Why do you think I want a hack like him destroyed?
With all due respect, Anne. May I call you Anne?
No.
Oh, well, with all due respect, Mrs. Sincere, you've spent a lot of time and money protesting this one wretched production.
I'm simply a concerned widow of means, Mr. Boudreaux. if this is how I choose to use my money.
And one of the pistols your husband left you.
Whatever do you mean? Oh, how dare you?
Look, Mrs. Sincere, I already told you I don't have a problem with your mission, your means, or your method. I do, however, object to your mark.
I'm afraid I don't know.
Understand? Yes. Yes, you do. Let's not play games, Mrs. Sincere. We're both far too intelligent for that. You want Peter Flynn dead. That's marvelous. You have no idea how that would free up my schedule, but frame the hack riding his coattails. Leave the ingenue alone.
Oh, is that who she is? I couldn't care less. She was just polite enough to take the gun I offered. Now, who is it you want me to frame, and why?
You leave that to me. You've got your scores to settle, and I've got mine. Meet me backstage at the showbox at intermission. I'll get you in to see Peter.
But how will I get past the doorman?
Since you killed the regular doorman, the new one won't know you're not supposed to be there. Just walk in like you own the place. Maybe after this is all over, you will. Anne?
Mrs. Sincere.
Right.
Can you tell me, ma'am, why you feel compelled to continue this protest, even after a man has died?
My dear, does that dreadful, messy tragedy not prove without a shadow of a doubt that the theater, and this theater in particular, is a den of iniquity and immorality? Think, just think of the young innocents, pure of heart, unblemished of soul, who may be drawn in this very evening, permanently marked in mind and spirit, cast out from all decent people, forced to live amongst these theater people like savages.
You do know this is Peter Flynn's King Lear, right? Flynn and Shakespeare don't tend to be a big hit with the kids.
Ah, that man is no friend of youth. Peter Flynn will lure those sweet, young, trusting souls in with his whispers of Shakespeare and art. And he will suck from them their beauty and their vigor until they are shattered husks of themselves, and then throw them carelessly, thoughtlessly away, moving on to his next conquest with never a moment to spare for those he left behind.
So you're familiar with Mr. Flynn, then?
No. What? No, why? Why would you think that? He is merely an archetype. The theater purportedly full of older, less talented and powerful men using the vitality of the young in any way they see fit.
Why this show? Why now? I've covered the entertainment for a while. I've never heard of your group, American Mothers for Normalcy, before today. Or you, come to think of it.
I am new to the city. I am a recent widow. Every hill and every foggy day in San Francisco reminded me too much of my beloved Herbert. New York is as far as I could go and still be in the country he so loved. Herbert left me the means to fight for the America he held so dear.
And what do your children think of all this?
My what?
Your children? You are the decent American mothers for...
Oh, I regret that Herbert and I were never so blessed ourselves, but are we not all mothers in a way, who wish to protect our innocent young from such filthy old men?
Right. And that's why you founded...
The group, of course. Decent American Mothers for Normalcy. It came about when I noticed the lack of wholesome entertainment available on the Broadway stage. This dreadful play was simply the straw that forced me to act.
No, Jim Rose Lee is on. Why not pick at her? She even takes her clothes off.
Well, we weren't all smart enough to marry well, my dear. A woman alone must do what she can. Well, time to rally the troops and move around front before the house opens. Do you have everything that you need?
And then some. Just spell your name for me.
Oh, of course. A-N-N-E. S-T-C-Y-R.
Saint.
No, my dear, it's pronounced sincere, the English way.
Your name is Mrs.
Precisely.
Something not right about that dame. Hey, watch it!
Oh, I am so sorry. Here, let me help.
Thanks. I'm not used to gentlemen by the stage door. Say, you were here when Willie was killed. Can I talk to you for a minute?
Oh, no, I have to go. I'm already running late. Wait, how did you know about Willie's death?
I'm Roz Grant. I'm a newspaper reporter.
Crime beat?
Yeah, no. Entertainment. My editor doesn't think women can handle anything more intellectually taxing. He says if I'm a good girl, he'll move me up to society features once Gladys dies.
How old's Gladys?
83. Smokes like a fiend, drinks like a fish, and survives solely on cucumber sandwiches she filches from ladies' teeth. She'll outlive us all. Anyway, he sent me down here to cover the protest. He never thought it would turn into something interesting. That's why I've got to crack the case before he realizes what's going on. So, do you think she really did it?
What? Who? Did what?
The ingenue. Ingenue offed Willie.
Holly? Oh, gosh, no. Holly would never. She's not that kind of girl.
Oh. But wasn't she accused of bumping off the latest Miss not too long ago?
She was cleared. Holly just seems to have a knack for being in the wrong place at the wrong time, and of picking up incriminating evidence.
So if she didn't do it...
But don't you think it was strange that there was no sign of violence until Mr. Flynn appeared? Or since?
The head of the group has some funny ideas about morality, too. Gypsy Rose Lee, stripping and declaiming doesn't rile her, but Flynn and Shakespeare sent her into a frothing rage.
Do you think she had anything to do with it?
Let's work together on this.
Why? Who says I'm going to work on anything?
I can tell from the gleam where I going to stop until you get your girl. We can come at this together. Ourselves a lot of time.
I usually work alone.
Yeah, Superman. You don't have a lot of time here.
I'm listening.
I'm going back to the paper. I'll look through the morgue, see what I can dig up on this Anne Sincere broad. You see if you can talk Flynn into showing his face again.
I may have to leave bottles of whiskey like breadcrumbs, but I'll get him here.
I'll meet you backstage at intermission. Deal?
Deal. Well, there's only one way in. Excuse me, ma'am. Pardon me. Good evening. Ow! 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 Ow!
And curtain down, go. 15 minutes to places, ladies and gentlemen. 15 minutes.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank
15.
you. Thank you.
I'm looking for Joe Green.
How did you get back here?
The new doorman?
It's okay. I told him she was coming. This is Roz Grant.
Oh, good to meet you. Always good to have a spare. Little tacky while Holly's in jail, though.
What? No! Roz is helping me get Holly out.
Kids today.
So, what did you find?
Lots. Anne Sincere is what she seems, and a lot more besides.
I don't understand.
The husband, the money, San Francisco, all legit. But it's how she got them that gets interesting.
How?
It seems Mrs. Sincere arrived in San Francisco as Herbert's souvenir from a long trip abroad. No one knows where she came from, but there were whispers.
10 minutes to places, ladies and gentlemen. 10 minutes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tim.
Thank you.
Roz, you're going to need to talk a little faster.
Right, sorry. The rumor that seems to have stuck was that Anne was a showgirl Herbert picked up in his travels. Locations vary in the telling, but one thing is always the same. It wasn't a high-class establishment. There were whispers of something called Chu Chin Chow.
Bless you.
Thank you.
Well, what happened to Herbert Sincere?
No sign of foul play. By all accounts, they were utterly devoted to each other. His will even mentioned a pair of dueling pistols she'd had engraved with each other's names as a gift. Apparently, they never fought, and the pistols were a well-known joke. They even posed with them for the society page in the call bulletin. See?
I don't believe it.
What?
Look closely. That's the gun Holly was holding. I'd swear to it.
Huh, now what?
Now, we go to Mr. Flynn and convince him to help us catch this crook.
Why now?
He's still sober enough to listen and drunk enough to actually agree. Come on.
5 minutes to places, ladies and gentlemen. 5 minutes.
Thank you.
Thank five.
Excuse me, my good man. Have you seen Mrs. Sincere?
Good grief. How did you get in?
Every stage door on Broadway is open to me. I'm Bert Boudreaux.
Yeah, theater critic. I know. What would that loon be doing back here anyway?
Mr. Boudreaux invited me in the hopes of changing my mind about your company. I'm afraid you're not helping.
Lady, 30 years of working in the dark doesn't leave a fella in the best shape. You could have given me a heart attack.
Pity.
Well, I gotta talk to that doorman.
Nice alibi. Not your first one, eh?
Now what?
Now we go to Peter's dressing room. He's drunk enough to let us in, but too drunk to fight you off.
To fight me off?
Good Lord. You don't think I was going to shoot him, did you? My calling is to observe and reflect.
Critics, let's go. I want to be out of here before anyone else sees me.
Places, please.
Mr. Flynn? Mr. Flynn, open up. Mr. Flynn!
What? Oh, my good man. Am I late? Well, I can't be late. They can't start the show without me. Oh, my boy. It's you. And you brought me a prezi. It's not even my birthday.
Mr. Flynn, this is Miss Grant. She's a newspaper reporter. Not a present. I thought they took the lock off your door.
They did. That's why I wedged the chair under the knob instead. A man needs his privacy sometimes, eh? My dear.
I'll bet.
Mr. Flynn, we need you to come with us to see if you recognize someone.
Certainly. Oh, drink before we go.
Oh, Mr. Flynn, there really isn't time. We need you to go and look at the protesters.
I'm not going anywhere near those damn women.
Mr. Flynn, there's a lady present.
What? Oh, that's so sweet.
I don't care if the Queen herself is holding a sign. I will not go near those damn women again.
Language, Mr. Flynn.
What are you talking about?
You keep saying that.
What?
Damn.
What else should I call them?
Mr. Flynn, just because we don't agree with them doesn't give us the right to call them these names.
I'm not calling them names. It's on all of the sashes they're wearing. It's DAMN.
What's so funny?
Don't you get it? Decent American Mothers for Normalcy. DAMN. It took a lush to see things clearly.
Thank you, madame.
Peter, I know you're in there. I just need a quick word.
Oh no, not Bert Boudreaux.
My sentiments exactly, dear lady.
And mine. But why you?
He treats me like a not-too-bright schoolgirl.
He treats everyone like a not-too-bright schoolgirl. It's part of his charm.
We work at the same paper. If he sees me here, I'm toast.
Have no fear. Chivalry is not yet dead. Hide behind my dressing screen.
You are a gentleman.
Oh, yes. Do be careful. The maid didn't make it in today.
Now, this is impressive.
Bert, my good man, what brings you backstage in the middle of a show?
Aw, Peter. You know I hate to interrupt your process, but Mrs. Sincere wanted so desperately to speak to you. I can't tell you how delighted I am to find Mr. Green here as well. I must say, I found the flowers a surprising response to my review, Mr. Green.
Trust me. Thanks were in order.
Well, Please allow me to present Mrs. Anne Sincere. I think this might be a life-changing meeting for us all.
How do you do, Mr. Green? And how have you been, Peter?
Goodness, aren't you familiar, minx? Aren't you a little advanced to be so modern? Not that I mind.
Oh, don't you remember me, Peter? I know it's been a very, very long time, but still, not even a glimmer in that booze-soaked brain?
No. How about a little hint?
3 little words. Chew, chin, chow.
Bless you.
It is not a sneeze. It is the name of a musical. One in which a young Peter Flynn made his professional debut. One in which a very young Annabeth Nisbet made her professional debut as well.
Annabeth? Is it really you? How bloody marvelous.
No, it is not!
Joe, my dear boy, may I have the honor of introducing you to the very first Mrs. Peter Flynn? You've done well, Bethy.
No thanks to you. Do you know what happened to a divorced Corinne in Edwardian London, Peter?
Not a clue.
She was unhireable. I was banned from every theater in London while you just kept getting bigger parts and prettier women. When Herbert met me, I was doing burlesque in Brussels. Do you have any idea how pointless that is?
Again, not a clue.
Oh, Herbert saved me from the life you left me, and we were truly happy together. But now he's gone, and I can take the revenge that kept me warm all those damp Belgian evenings.
Bethy, what are you doing with the gun? My God, you're the one that shot at me today.
Oh, and I'm about to do it again. I'm so sorry, Mr. Green, but you'll have to take the fall this time. I won't let this man ruin my life a second time.
Do you listen to nothing, man? I've been calling places for 10 minutes. We can't have a play about a mad king if he won't show up for his mad scene. Wait. What's going on?
Turns out Mrs. Sincere here was the very first Mrs. Flynn.
A living myth. I'll tell the doorman to call the cops. Any chance of anyone getting to places anytime soon?
That's my cue. Well, I must be off. Duty calls. Truly lovely to see you again, Bethy.
Oh, get off of me!
Not a chance.
Who's going to believe you? A nobody and his drunken boss? I am a respected pillar of society with a respected theater critic by my side.
Yes, well, as to that, I really must be going. I'm meant to be reviewing the new Gypsy Rose Lee piece for tomorrow's paper. I snuck out at intermission and all the shows, well, you know, they end the same way. Don't get up. I'll see myself out. And you may have foiled me again, but I am not finished with you yet, actor.
I knew you were no gentleman. It's just you and me, Mr. Green. What can I do to convince you to let me go?
Not a thing.
Oh, surely I can make it worth your while. You know what I said is true. They'll never believe you.
Oh, they don't have to believe me. Did you get all that, Roz?
Every word. Nice tackle, by the way.
Thanks. I was All-American in college.
Of course you were. I got to get back to the paper before Boudreaux. It was a pleasure working with you.
Oh, the pleasure was all mine. Did you forget something, Roz?
Who's Roz?
Oh, Holly. What are you doing here?
The police said the evidence was too circumstantial. They offered me a ride. They're really quite sweet and, why are you sitting on this woman, Joe? Say, she smells awfully familiar. This is the woman who gave me that gun!
I know, Holly.
Oh, actor, you're my hero.
You know you're still sitting on me, right?
And so the actor continues to fight for all that is right and good in the theater. Will he be needed again? Only time will tell, but Broadway is a busy place, full of dreams and dreamers, and not every dream has a happy ending. Tune in next time to hear Ingenue Holly Grace say...
Oh, actor, you've got to come quick. Titania's cheating on Oberon, and Puck's tangled up in the flies.